G'day all, this is Lucky Phil. I thought I would record for my first YouTube video a tour of my base on the Ironmine Olympus server. I've used Steampunk as my primary building mod, and as it's very hard on the frames, I hope you'll excuse the occasional lag and rubber band, as I have a lot going on here. This here is my living base, and enter inside. We enter into my dining area and have a nice lunch set out for everybody who comes to visit. And here is my study. On the desk here you'll see the taming journal that comes with the immersive taming mod. Inside this journal you'll find all the stuff that you need to tame all your stuff using immersive taming. And my dino seems to be sticking his head through to say hi to everybody. Most of the base here is built in steampunk. I won't go into all the walls and roofs and stuff like that because I think they're pretty self-explanatory. And all the other mods are all using eco mods. I advise you, if you like decorating, go out and check out eco. She is well worth it. Now, for our first look in here this is the kitchen. This is an eco cooker out of eco mods, and other than the S Plus workbench, everything else in here is from steampunk. This item here is the steampunk copper steam icebox. In this you make slushies. Slushies are really fun because you can feed them to yourself or feed them to your dinos, and they allow you to run really fast. This item is connected to water. First off, you start by making ice blocks out of water. An ice box, when you craft an ice block, it takes a little bit of time to craft an ice block, but after you've crafted the ice block, you can make these slushies, which you just use a block of ice, and this slushy allows you to run fast. Next to it, we have the steampunk tannery. The tannery makes leather. Leather is made out of hide, and leather is what you use in some of your crafting. This is the steampunk copper cold stove, which is used primarily the same as an industrial cooker, but except it runs on coal. Next is the industrial copper smoker, which is where you make all your jerkies and stuff like that. And of course the cooker, which is pretty much the same as any other cookers. You can cook all your stuff in there, except it has a few extra bits and pieces in here. These eggs, which can be used and consumed as food, which is a good way to get rid of all your extra eggs. And down here, this thing here called Unikibble. And if you weren't using something like immersive taming, you can force feed this to your animal, and it gives you 5 of every one of the taming kibbles for that animal, which is another really good way to have a lot of kibble on you and always have the kibble that you need. As you can see, it takes a fair bit of stuff to go around to get it to work, but well, nothing's free, and ordinary kibble's hard to make anyway, so this is just as easy. Now we'll go on a little bit of tour of my living quarters. Now, this is my personal room. I'd like to thank Crackers for giving me a little bit of a hand with the decoration in here. And in my personal room here, we have the steampunk copper bed, which is part of steampunk, and this item over here, which is the most cheaty item out of steampunk altogether. It works exactly the same as some of the gravestone mods. It essentially, when you die, when you respawn, if you hop into there, you'll get all your items back, so you don't have to go hunting in the wild to try and find them again. Other than that, all the rest of the stuff in this room here is all been out of eco mods. some of the stuff sitting in here is actually an eco mod crafting bench, like the stables and the structures, or the shop decor. Just wait a sec, I'll have to stop because my dog's barking. These two items here are both eco crafting tables, and it's where you craft some of these nice decorations that we have lying around. In here is my little bathroom, which is all decorated using Eco's mods. I have my shower, bath. Beautiful. Now all refreshed, let's continue the tour. And this is my guest room for all my guests who want to come and stay. They have their own storage and their own library. And hidden over here in the corner is my backup power supply. And we'll continue the tour by over here having a look at the guest lounge, where I can sit here, lounge on my chair, and look out on the glorious, wondrous arc and see all my dinos on patrol walking past. And now let's go up to the roof and have a look what we have up here. Up here, this is a part of one of the main decoration from Steampunk. Other than the decoration, it doesn't have any other use. And there is a part missing on the top which I didn't put on. And this item over here is the Steampunk teleporter, one of the more useful items out of Steampunk. Exactly the same as all the other teleporters, except this runs on a power matrix. This here is a power matrix. Once it's put inside the device, it powers the device by itself. But if you have it set up on a base and you have some of the Steampunk power generators laying around, it will self-power off the Steampunk power generators, and there is my generator right there. This item over here is a Steampunk outhouse. It's another decoration. When you open up, you have your outdoor private loos. Needed that. And next up here we have the Steampunk snow machine, and this item here generates snowballs. I won't generate any at the moment because I have some sitting in my taskbar already, and when you use this, it usually changes the ambient temperature and you end up with all your freezing noises all the time. If you equip it, you can throw it at things, and if you throw it at a dino, it's just like walking up and punching it, and it's quite fun to have snowball fights. The item in front of us is a Steampunk Tesla coil. It works fairly similar to an autocannon, where it attacks any unwanted intruders into your base. And over here we have the Steampunk Ornament. Just another little decoration that you can hop on and play music to. Really like to learn how to play it properly, but I've never got anything more than a couple of notes out of it. Anyway, on with the tour. You can see all the Steampunk stair rails and Steampunk stuff. There's nice ones where you can make nice wide stairs like we have here. And the gate doors I have here are the S Plus dynamic gates, and they've been painted in a tangerine colour because it looks really copper when it's done, and it goes with the base design. The other decorations here are these water tubes, which I quite like, and the lights, which are the copper round ceiling lights. There is another light in there, and this is another one of their lights, which looks quite interesting. And the wall lights too are both out of steampunk as well. Now over here, the stone building in front of us is my crafting base, which is the first thing that I built when I first started, because everybody needs a crafting base to start off with. Essentially I have two levels, an upstairs and a downstairs. So I've got them joined with the stairs, and over there on the floor I'm using a tech elevator which you just jump on to jump between levels. Over here, these are the steampunk, all the forges you need. This will be the first forge that you make. Inside this forge here is where you craft your coal. As you can see, I've got tons of it sitting on the go there, and this is where you forge your metal ingots, which are pretty much the same as the metal ingots that you would forge in any other forge, except these are a little bit lighter. And here you do your smelted copper ore, which is one of the things that you would need, and you'll find that you'll craft a lot of it if you make steampunk. It is your primary thing that you make everything out of. And this one here, you can either use gas, gunpowder or spark powder to operate. I would advise to use spark powder because it's the easiest and cheapest to make, and if you use the steampunk drills you'll get a lot of the resources to make your spark powder anyway, and you get that much stone that you need to find some use for it. And this one around here is the industrial copper forge, and this is where you make your copper plates. Copper plates use the glass panels, which are made out of crystal, and the smelted copper ore. Right, and as usual, this one also runs on spark powder. And that's a tannery which I have over here, and this one over here is the steampunk workshop station. And over here you'll find in here all the decorative pieces, the kitchen pieces, and down on the bottom down here you'll find these ones down here, which are all the armor pieces. They all have a different benefit for you. The two primary best ones are the steampunk chest, which doubles your carrying base weight, and over here the steampunk helmet, which allows you to have clear vision underwater, and it also allows you to breathe underwater as well, which is quite handy. And all the rest of them all add to your armor ratings and add your things, and they all use something called rough diamonds, which is made out of obsidian in one of the forges. This here is a steampunk storage bin, pretty much the same as a vault, and this is where I happen to store all my skins that I pick up. These two over here are the steampunk multi-forge. I have this one over here is set up for making copper plates, and last night before I logged off I set this up to be making copper plate, and there it's gone and used all the materials that I put in there to make copper plate. In here to make copper plate you need glass panels and smelted ore, the same as the other thing, but this item here, instead, if I put copper ore in here, smelted copper ore is on my pull list, so I'll just pull some over to show you how it works. I have a few in the blast forge, not very many. No worries, and you can see it automatically starts doing it by itself, and it will run with all the ingredients you have. So if you do all your crafting during the day when you're online, you can set this up, and when you go offline it will do all your, make all your copper plates and everything like that for you. I'll go over to the other one and show you the cycle function. This one at the moment is set up to, it's got glass panels, so if I add crystal in here it would start making glass panels. But if I cycle, which is a little bit problematic, it's now ready to make the rough diamond, and as you can see that's made using stone, obsidian and coal. You'll find you'll need to use it for your drill bits and some of your armor pieces and a few other items all use rough diamonds, and obsidian is one of the items that Steamplunk doesn't collect, so you have to go out there and manually get it. But if you kept on cycling through, you'll go through all the other bits like the ingots and everything like that. Each one of them, if you had one of them, you could have them all set up, all the different sorts, and away you go. You've got all your stuff all automated. The other items in here, or the other tables are in here, are all most of them have to do with these ones here are all castle keeps and forts. And over here are the S plus, couple of S plus ones. The S plus converter is what you use to convert your ordinary arc items to S plus, and this S plus blueprint maker is the most useless S plus thing that ever existed. I don't know what the point is. It's telling you, it makes you blueprints for stuff that you can already make yourself, so it's just totally useless. It's not worth the timber I made it out of. And of course a couple more of the Eco Mods crafting stuff, and all the rest of it is pretty much self-explanatory because it's all just standard items, except for these over here, which are the advanced grindstones, which are really fun. Over here, when you start with the gardening, this is where you make your first lots of stuff for the stuff, and in here this is where you make rich soil, which is made from fibre and fertilizer, and it's what runs all the garden, which there it is out there, out the window out there. I'll have a bit of a talk about that in a minute. We'll just have a bit of a run upstairs, if I can run upstairs without this lag being too bad. And this is where this is my main storage area and stuff like that. I'll just use the elevator now and I'll jump up to the roof. Oh, there's fake crackers. G'day fake crackers, how you going? And here's the generator that's running this building, and as backup I also have a wind farm. All the decorations on the trees up here are all Eco Mods. When I first came to this island, this little island I'm on, this island didn't have any decoration on it at all, and thanks to the last mod I've got trees, rocks, grass and everything, so thanks for that, man. And over here in the distance you can see two big trees. These are both out of the Eco Redwoods. This area hasn't got trees of this size on it normally, and I'm using those as my place where I'm parking all my flyers. This area over here is quite dense in dinos. There are plenty of dinos around here. It's not a place where you would want to walk around without protection. There are a few places around here that probably could have been probably could be fixed a little bit. I have a few problems with just at the moment down here in the water. There are a couple of places where I go swimming in the water where I sink to the bottom like a stone when I come around here, and there are a few places over there which are natural dino traps, which is where I have got a few of my tames. And there's the HMAS Endeavour, which is out of the rafts mod. And of course, if you've been to Aberration and then you have your wings, this is what you need. You need an S+ repulsor plate, and I'll take you on a little flight so we can get an aerial view of the base. While we're up here, you can see my steampunk airship. On here, because we have S+ structure support turned off, you can't build on top of the airship and fly your airship around, because the structures tend to stay on the ship. As I say, the structures will sit there and float in mid-air, which is, I'm not sure if there's a workaround for that, but I haven't had any luck trying to get it to stay. Whilst I'm up here, I may as well show you this item over here. This item over here is what you use to make the airship and a submarine and the Tesla coils. Inside here there's the steampunk air balloon, the Tesla coil. This item here is the power matrix for the teleporter, and that's the teleporter itself. This item over here is really a decorative item, as it really has no use other than to run around and have a little bit of fun with. It is powered by the same stuff that powers the airship, and seeing as though that's expensive to make because it's used as this refined oil, and it also uses copper plate to make a barrel of oil to power the ship. And over here, the other item you can make is this submarine, and I'll take you down in a minute and I'll show you my submarine. On this thing here, we've got you can build on it. It has multiple levels to build on. You have the main deck, you have an underdeck. These parts aren't normally here. This is the underpiece of the big crafting thing above it, so you have all this area underneath down here that you can lay foundations down and build on. And you have up behind the command cabin at the back, you have another small area where you can build on as well. In there. Up here, the only thing I can tell you up here is when you want to add fuel to this, seems to be no way to access from the outside its inventory, which it has one, and the only way you can do it is if you ride it and then access inventory, and then you can put you have your oil over here in your inventory, and you put it in here, and then you can get it to go. And as you saw when it popped up to start, you press O to start, and there we go. But if I move that now, everything would stay in place, so I don't intend to move it. So I'll turn it off and hop out. I'm pretty sure that if you ever talk to the dev of this mod, we probably might be able to work a way out of how to be able to take our stuff with us, but as at the moment I'm only using it as a decoration anyway, because I have my other base and I'm not intending to fly it anywhere. And over there's the air balloon, and we'll have a bit of, since I have my wings on, we'll just fly down. And we'll go over here to my sub pen, and there's the Nautilus over there, which is the little steampunk submarine. And there we go. There's the other problem that I have here. As soon as I will go into the water on this side of my base, I tend to sink to the bottom like a stone. There's the Nautilus, it's just rideable. And when you're on it, if you hit the O key like on the plane, there we go. And as you can see, it's built on one of the whales, but very fun to play with. I'll turn it off because I don't want to waste my fuel, and away we go. And other than that, this area here is where I keep all my store on my precious dinos, and I've been breeding tech raptors in there. And come on, Mr. Anky, let me past. And these are my breeders over here. And just as a reminder, when you want FT back, just come over and pick him up, and you can grab your eggs whenever you need it. And this is the for hire. It is a steampunk airship. These things here will fly by themselves pretty well, but if you put fuel in them, they run a lot faster. And over here we have the steampunk drills. These are a brilliant object, and depending on what the drill bits you have on the end of them, they will collect metal and stone or crystal, which are both items which you'll both need to make a lot of the steampunk stuff. And over there is the SS Jason Statham. If anybody gets the reference, right, it is because it is my transporter. And here we go over here, and we've got all my tech stegs and tech rexes. I have a lot more tech rexes than this, but they're over there doing their job on the other side of the bridge which I built. This bridge over here has been built using rafts and using like a pontoon bridge. Out here we go, and you can tell it is just a raft. Made sure that it's all blocked off so there's no access for anybody to go on there and drive them away for me. But essentially this is just two rafts. And as you can see, I'm not losing oxygen because I have my steampunk gear on. And it's nice, the nice view out there. All the fish in the sea. This is one area that could be improved a little bit on this map. We need to have a little bit more sea life put around here. And we'll go up here and have a look on this side here. These stairs just lead up to the little bridge that I've built to get up to the airship. And further along the coast up there is my neighbour, Crackers. You can see her buildings just up there by the dinosaurs. That's her land base, and way up there out of render in the ocean is her island base. These dinos out here around are walking on using the patrol mod, and this is how me, Crackers, and our other neighbours use these to keep the wild dinos away from our bases. And essentially, that's pretty much it for my base. But I'll have a run around and we'll go around to the other side of the base and have a look over there. You'll see that I've done a little bit of work, and I'd like to thank a few people for giving me a hand doing that, like Crackers and Trigger Pug for the donation of the first tech steg that I got. And I'm having a lot of fun here on this server, and if you are an Ironmine member and you really like it, I'd advise you to go out there and subscribe to one of our YouTubers like Monkey Puzzle or Crackers or Arali the Geek, and give them a little bit of money and subscribe to their Patreon, and you'll be able to get on here and play too. Okay, that's about it for me, and I'll come over here and I'll sign off and say bye everyone, and I hope you have a great day.